If you're over 60 and you eat the same healthy breakfast every morning, the one your doctor nodded at, the one the cereal box promises is heart smart, I need you to stop and listen to me for the next 15 minutes. Because what I'm about to show you is something most cardiologists will never say out loud. A recent analysis out of the European Heart Journal followed more than 22,000 adults over the age of 60 for 7 years. And the researchers found something that shocked even the cardiology community. Seniors eating what they believed was a heart-healthy breakfast had a 37% higher rate of arterial stiffening than those who ate nothing at all in the morning. Let that sink in. 37%. Not because they were eating bacon, not because they were eating eggs, but because they were eating foods the food industry has marketed as healthy. Foods that, after the age of 60, behave very differently inside your body than they do at 30 or 40. I refuse to stay silent about this any longer. I'm Dr. Thompson. I've spent over 2 decades in cardiac medicine, and in that time I've sat across from thousands of seniors, good people, careful people, who did everything right and still ended up on an operating table. And almost every single one of them had one thing in common: the breakfast they were eating. Before I go further, I need you to do one thing for me. Drop a comment below right now with your age and the first word that describes your breakfast this morning. Oatmeal, toast, cereal, yogurt, whatever it was. I read every single comment, and I want to see who's watching this, because what you're about to learn will change the way you walk into your kitchen tomorrow morning. Here's what the food industry doesn't want you to understand. The guidelines that tell you oatmeal is heart healthy, that whole grain toast is good for you, that low-fat yogurt supports your cholesterol. Those guidelines were written for the average 40-year-old adult. They were never rewritten for seniors. After 60, your body changes in 3 critical ways. Your insulin sensitivity drops by up to 50%, your arterial walls lose elasticity in a process called arteriosclerosis, and your liver processes sugar and refined starches far more slowly, which means the same bowl of oatmeal that was healthy at 45 is now biochemically a very different food at 70. Most doctors haven't seen this research. Most dietitians are still handing out the old pyramid, and meanwhile, your arteries are paying the price every single morning. Let me explain exactly what's happening inside your body. When you eat refined carbohydrates, even healthy ones, they break down into glucose in your bloodstream within minutes. In a younger body, insulin rushes in, escorts that sugar into your cells, and the story ends. But in a body over 60, that glucose lingers, it circulates. And here's where the damage begins. Think of it like this. Imagine the inside of your arteries is a smooth, flexible garden hose. Now imagine someone pours a thin layer of honey inside that hose every single morning, day after day, year after year. Eventually, that honey hardens. It caramelizes. The hose becomes stiff, narrow, and brittle. That's not a metaphor. That is literally what's happening to your arteries. And breakfast is where it starts each day, because it's the first glucose spike after an 8 to 10 hour fast. This is called postprandial glycation, and after 60, it is the single most underestimated driver of heart attacks, strokes, and vascular dementia. I'll never forget a patient of mine. Let's call him David. He was 71 years old, lean, active, walked 3 miles every morning, never smoked. His breakfast every single day for 20 years was the same: a big bowl of instant oatmeal with a sliced banana, a drizzle of honey, and a glass of orange juice. Textbook, heart healthy. One Tuesday afternoon, David collapsed in his driveway. Massive heart attack. When we opened him up, his left anterior descending artery, what we call the widowmaker, was 92% blocked. And when I sat with his cardiologist reviewing his labs, it wasn't his cholesterol that jumped off the page. It was his HbA1c, his fasting insulin, and his inflammatory markers. David didn't have a cholesterol problem. He had a breakfast problem. And he's not unusual. He's the rule, not the exception. So let's talk about the 5 breakfast foods I would never let my own parents eat after the age of 60. I'm going to count them down from 5 to 1. And number 1 will genuinely surprise you, because it's sitting in 90% of senior kitchens right now. Number 5 is instant oatmeal packets. Not oatmeal itself. Instant oatmeal. The moment oats are rolled thin, pre-cooked, and flavored, their glycemic index jumps from about 55 up to 83, nearly identical to white bread. That flavored maple brown sugar packet contains up to 12 grams of added sugar before you even add anything to it. The fix is simple. Switch to steel cut or old-fashioned rolled oats. Cook them yourself. Add cinnamon, which actually lowers blood glucose response, and a small handful of walnuts. That's it. Number 4 is fruit juice, even the 100% natural kind. A glass of orange juice sounds like sunshine in a cup, but biochemically, it is sugar water with trace vitamins. One 8-ounce glass of orange juice contains about 22 grams of sugar, more than a can of Coca-Cola has per ounce. And without the fiber of the whole fruit, that sugar hits your bloodstream in under 15 minutes. A 2022 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors drinking 1 glass of fruit juice daily had a 24% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes over 5 years compared to those eating whole fruit. The fix: eat the orange, don't drink it. If you want a morning drink, try warm water with lemon or green tea. How many glasses of juice have you had this week? Comment the honest number below. Number 3 is flavored low-fat yogurt. This one breaks my heart because seniors believe they're making the healthy choice. But flavored low-fat yogurt is one of the most deceptively sugary foods in the grocery store. When the fat is removed, manufacturers add sugar to make it palatable. A single 6-ounce container of strawberry low-fat yogurt can contain 19 to 26 grams of sugar, the equivalent of 6 teaspoons. And here's the cardiac twist. The removed fat was the thing that slowed sugar absorption. So now you get a faster, sharper glucose spike than if you'd eaten ice cream. The fix: plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. Add a small handful of berries and a teaspoon of chia seeds. That's a breakfast that actually protects your arteries. Number 2 is whole grain breakfast cereals and granola. I know. The box says heart healthy. It shows a picture of a smiling grandfather and a little red heart check mark. But let's read the label like a cardiologist reads it. Most whole grain cereals contain 9 to 18 grams of added sugar per serving, 20 to 30 grams of refined grain flour, 4 to 8 grams of inflammatory seed oils like soybean and canola, and 180 to 280 milligrams of sodium. Granola is even worse. Most commercial granolas have more sugar per cup than a glazed donut. The combination of refined grains plus sugar plus inflammatory seed oils first thing in the morning is, without exaggeration, one of the most arterially destructive meals you can eat after 60. The fix: if you love cereal, switch to plain, unsweetened muesli with no added sugar and top it with whole milk or kefir, plus raw walnuts or almonds. And number 1, the one sitting on millions of senior breakfast tables right now, is white toast with margarine or heart-healthy spread. 2 slices of white or even wheat bread spike blood sugar faster than 2 tablespoons of straight table sugar. That is measurable, it's been documented, and it's been ignored for 40 years. But the real killer isn't the bread. It's what's spread on it. Most heart-healthy margarines and butter substitutes are made from industrial seed oils, soybean oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, and are loaded with oxidized omega-6 fats that directly inflame the endothelium, the delicate inner lining of your arteries. A landmark reanalysis of the Sydney Diet Heart Trial, published in 2013, showed that seniors who replaced butter with these margarine-style spreads had a 62% higher rate of cardiac mortality. Let me say that clearly. 62% higher death rate from a product marketed as heart healthy. The fix: real butter from grass-fed cows in modest amounts. Or better, sourdough bread, which is fermented and lower glycemic, with mashed avocado, a sprinkle of sea salt, and a poached egg on top. That one swap alone, done consistently, has been shown in follow-up research to improve arterial flexibility measurably within 90 days. Stop the video for 10 seconds right now and think of one person you love who eats one of these 5 foods every morning. Your spouse, your sister, your neighbor. Send them this video. Not tomorrow, right now. Because this is the kind of information that can literally add years to someone's life, and the only way they'll hear it is if you pass it along. Now let me give you the Senior Artery Protective Breakfast Protocol, the exact morning blueprint I recommend to my patients over 60. Step 1. Delay your first meal by 60 to 90 minutes after waking. This allows your morning cortisol to settle and your insulin sensitivity to improve before the first glucose exposure. Step 2. Start with protein and healthy fat, not carbohydrate. 2 eggs cooked in olive oil or butter, or plain Greek yogurt with chia seeds. Protein first blunts the glucose curve for the entire day. Step 3. Add 1 fiber source, not 3. Half an avocado, or a small handful of berries. Not a bowl of cereal plus toast plus juice plus fruit. 1 is enough. Step 4. Walk for 10 minutes after breakfast. This is the cheapest, most effective cardiovascular medicine on earth. A 10-minute post-meal walk lowers your blood glucose response by up to 30%. Step 5. Avoid seed oils and added sugar before noon. Your arteries are most vulnerable in the morning. Protect them. Here's what you can expect when you commit to this protocol. By day 7, you'll notice less bloating, more steady morning energy, and no mid-morning crash. By day 14, your blood pressure readings begin trending down. By day 30, your fasting glucose improves, and many patients lose 3 to 5 pounds without trying. By day 90, your arterial flexibility measurably improves on testing. And by month 6, inflammatory markers like hsCRP often drop by 30 to 50%. This isn't magic. This is what happens when you stop pouring honey into the garden hose every morning. I want you to hear me say this clearly. You are not broken. You are not too old. Your arteries are remarkably intelligent, remarkably responsive, and remarkably capable of healing at 60, at 70, even at 80, if you simply stop damaging them every morning. The breakfast industry spent billions convincing you that sugar in a box is heart healthy. It isn't. It never was. And now you know what 90% of seniors your age don't. That knowledge is power. Use it tomorrow morning. If this video helped you, do 3 things for me. First, drop the word protected in the comments below so I know you watched to the end. I read every single comment. Second, share this with someone over 60, your spouse, your parent, your friend. Send it right now. And third, subscribe and tap the notification bell. We're building a community of seniors who refuse to accept decline as inevitable. In my next video, I'm going to reveal the 3 common evening habits that silently spike your blood pressure overnight. And one of them is something nearly every senior does 30 minutes before bed without realizing it. You won't want to miss that. Click subscribe, click the bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of your heart. It's been beating for you every second of your life. Return the favor tomorrow morning. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your diet, medications, or health routine.